Nigeria hasn't always justified the faith of its people, but there comes a time when you are pushed to the wall and there's nowhere to go but up.
If we just decide in our hearts that we want to believe in Nigeria and we want to take steps every day to make this country a better place.
This is our dream, and a new Nigeria is that dream that we so much seek and desire.
The destiny of Nigeria is in our hands. We are the country. The country is us.
We are Nigeria.
We are that turning point generation. We are Nigeria. We are the future.
We are the future. We are the dream. We are the nation. We are part of this. Yes, we are so amazing. That's the least we shall be. At the heart of the nation, changing history. How can they say that we are finished? We have just begun. When we have nowhere else to run to, we have nowhere else to go. So get out of the way of the land of our dreams. We are the nation, we are part of this. Oh, oh. We are the nation, we are part of this. Whoa, carry the song, carry the sound. The future is here. The future is here. Goodbye yesterday, tomorrow is now for the taking. The future is here. The future is here. I am the future. I am the future. I am the dream. Whoa, I am the nation. I am part of this. Yes, I am so amazing. That's the least I shall be. The least I shall be. At the heart of the nation, changing history. How can they say that we are finished? We have just begun. When we have nowhere else to run. Nowhere else to run to. Nowhere else to go. Out of the land of my dreams. Oh, I am the nation. I am part of this. So get out of the way of the land of my dreams. I am the nation, I am part of it. Whoa, carry the song, carry the sound. The future is here. The future is here. Goodbye yesterday, tomorrow is now for the taking. The future is here. The future is here. Raise your hands in the air if you believe the future has come now. The future is here. The future is here. This is our dream. The future is here. The future has come.
The future is not a time zone that is yet to come. The future is everything that we can be but have not yet become. The future is everything that we can do but have not yet done. The future is here. The future is now. So go ahead and deliver the future, because you can, because you must. And together we will. Nigeria hasn't always justified the faith of its people, but there comes a time when you are pushed to the wall and there's nowhere to go but up.
If we just decide in our hearts that we want to believe in Nigeria and we want to take steps every day to make this country a better place.
This is our dream, and a new Nigeria is that dream that we so much seek and desire.
The destiny of Nigeria is in our hands. We are the country. The country is us.
We are Nigeria.
We are that turning point generation. We are Nigeria. We are the future.
We are the future. We are the dream. We are the nation. We are part of this. Yes, we are so amazing. the least we shall be. At the heart of the nation, changing history. How can they say that we are finished? We have just begun. When we have nowhere else to run to, we have nowhere else to go. So get out of the way of the land of our dreams. We are the nation, we are part of this. Oh, oh. We are the nation, we are part of this. Whoa, carry the song, carry the sound. The future is here. The future is here. Goodbye yesterday, tomorrow is now for the taking. The future is here. The future is here. I am the future. I am the future. I am the dream. Whoa, I am the nation. I am part of this. Yeah. Yes, I am so amazing. That's the least I shall be. The least I shall be. At the heart of the nation, changing history. How can they say that we are finished? We have just begun. When we have nowhere else to run. Nowhere else to run to. Nowhere else to go. Hey. Out of the land of my dreams. Oh, I am the nation. I am part of this. Yeah. So get out of the way of the land of my dreams. I am the nation. I am part of this. Whoa, carry the song, carry the sound. The future is here. The future is here. Goodbye yesterday, tomorrow is now for the taking. The future is here. The future is here. Raise your hands in the air if you believe the future has come now. The future is here. The future is here. This is our, this is our, this is our country. The future is here. The future is here. The future has come.
The future is not a time zone that is yet to come. The future is everything that we can be but have not yet become. The future is everything that we can do but have not yet done. The future is here. The future is now. So go ahead and deliver the future because you can, because you must. Together we will.
All right, all right, all right. Okay. Good evening, everyone. All right. I'm trying to take this off. Good evening. Can you hear me? All right. Why am I not seeing myself on the screen? Why am I not seeing myself on the screen? If you can hear me and can see me, kindly let me know. If you can hear me and can see me, please let me know. I don't know what's happening to network tonight, but we're good. I've been having difficulty logging in. That's why I played that audio a couple of times, that video a couple of times. So please, if you can hear me, let me know where you're joining in from, if you can see and if you can hear me. All right. Okay, so you can hear me, but can you see me? All right. I'm trying to remove the overlay. Okay, maybe that's what the problem is. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Why is it doing that now? Why is it doing that? Okay, I'm a novice on this one. I'm trying to remove the overlay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for making the time to join Raising Girls Weekly on a very interesting week for us as a nation. All right, I'm trying to, okay, all things work together for good. No problem, no distraction. I'm going to be totally fine. I'm going to be totally fine. All right, I don't know what's up, but I have a number of things running on my screen. I have a number of things running on my screen. Hopefully I saw them. Anyway, no distractions. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight for Raising Girls Weekly. Quite frankly, it's been a very interesting week for us as a nation, all right? Our young people are out on the streets demonstrating, and I was just feeling a bit warm that since I started Raising Girls Weekly for a few weeks now, we've just been, all right? Okay, so for a few weeks now, since we started, I'm just happy that I've been playing this song about us taking our nation back, making our nation to be the best that God wants it to be and all. So I'm just looking at everything that has been happening over the last few weeks, and I'm just asking myself, who knew that we were at the edge of such a thing? Who knew that we're at the edge of such a thing? I'm really touched. My friend Vivian would say we've been triggered. I've been really triggered. And it's been an interesting week, if you ask me. And that reminds me, I'm supposed to go live on Instagram as well. So I'm just going to go live. I want to thank everyone for making the time to be here tonight. It's always worth it. It's always worth it. I thought about, with all the things going on in the nation today, is today really a good day to go live and host Raising Girls? And I say, yeah. And so we're going to do this anyway. If I get emotional at any point, it's still part of it, because I think that everyone is upset. Okay, so right now my husband is stuck with the guys protesting. He can't come home because ABJ is blocked in some sort of way tonight. But bottom line, we're happy. We're happy that for the first time, Nigerians are young people are making governance their business. And for those of us we've done some work over the last how many years with young people, we know that this is a major milestone, because before, young people will not they won't even make it their business. They won't register to get voters card. Welcome ASK. They won't register to get voters card. They won't go out to do nada. But it's been beautiful seeing them take back their country, because if this country is truly theirs, if this country belongs to young people, if they are really the future leaders, then the body language should have been different the whole time. But nonetheless, we're not talking about NSAS tonight, even though we're going to make reference to NSAS from time to time. We're talking about Raising Girls. I want to welcome everyone. So if you're listening to me, you can hear me, whether you're on Instagram or YouTube, on our Facebook community, Parenting Champions, wherever you're watching me from. Please tell me where you're watching me from, and tell me how this week has been for you. If you're watching me while you're stuck in the NSAS traffic, you have my love, baby. You have my love. And just see like the sacrifice you're also making for the new Nigeria to be born, all right? So let me know where you're joining me from. I've seen Auntie Muti already. Thank you, Auntie Muti Olori, for joining tonight. Thank you, Vivi, my day one support team. Thank you so much for being there. There's someone else that is showing Facebook user. That's because you haven't given StreamYard permission to let me see you, all right? Welcome, Classy. Thank you so much for joining, all right? So tonight we're going to keep it snappy so that we can, go and follow all the tweets. And I don't know, I recognize that people listening to me today may not all necessarily be in support of NSAS. It's okay, whatever your position is. My position is that let God use this protest and the prayer works to shape Nigeria. And just before I move away from this, I want to ask you that anything that you cannot tolerate from your estate chairman and the estate ESCO, don't tolerate it from politicians. Whatever you cannot tolerate from the ESCO in your estate that you pay service charge to, whatever you can't tolerate from them, don't tolerate it from politicians. It's about the same thing. And in fact, when it comes to politics, they even owe you more than the ESCO in your estate, all right? So moving away from that, hello, Chankia. Thank you so much for joining. It's been a while, bro. Good to see you. So I'm going to get this ball rolling very quickly. I had to switch devices between the time we started and now. So don't worry, we'll be good. We'll be good. So I want to, what do I want to do now? I want to switch my slides in a moment and then share screen, all right? Thank you so much for joining me tonight. So tonight, I made a promise last week that we're going to be talking about 5 ways to position God for our girls. In the meantime, have you seen how the girls have been rocking it on NSAS? Again, NSAS is coming up, but I'm just talking about what the girls have been able to do. Shout out to Aisha Yesufu, someone that people don't know is not a youth, but she's very pragmatic and she stepped out to do something phenomenal to make you understand how remarkable women are. So shout out to Aisha Yesufu, shout out to Renu, shout out to the women at feminist.co that are making the organization of the NSAS movement really worth it. It's a sign that women rock, all right? And women don't rock at the expense of men. If you noticed, it's been an amazing teamwork. The men and women out on the protest are working together. And it kind of gives me fulfillment because it tells me that the next generation understands the value of each gender. And I'm so happy because they're going to move away from all the sentiment and stereotypes and biases that we have around girl issues. So I'm so grateful. I feel honored to be able to see this. I feel really honored. I feel grateful to have the opportunity to see this. So where are we starting from? You remember last week, last Sunday was International Day of the Girl Child. Yeah, I have some fantastic news. I have something I want to share with you guys about something that has started happening already. So we started out last, where did we start out? My screen needs to share better. All right. We started out last Sunday with the International Day of the Girl Child. I mean, I had to write about it and talk about the need to give the girl her voice. But something else also happened during that Sunday. An exciting, amazing organization in Abuja called the She Forum Africa partnered up with the Embassy of Finland to start out a campaign called Her Tuition, Her Voice. The goal is to raise enough funds to keep enough girls in school. And so they're starting out with this 25 girls number. They want to raise enough money to keep 25 girls in school from JSS1 to SS3. You may wonder, everything is about girls. Everything is about girls. It's not necessarily so. There's new statistics showing that the number of girls that finish secondary school when compared to the boys is very low. Is very low. And to be honest with you, when women don't get quality education, their children pay for it. Their children pay terribly for it. So giving a girl education means that, because in Africa she's still considered the primary, all over the world she's considered the primary caregiver to her children. It means when she has quality education, she will make quality decisions for her health, for her children, and I mean, the list is endless. What possibilities await an educated girl? So She Forum Africa is doing something amazing, teaming up with the Embassy of Finland to raise resources in order for us to support girls to stay in school. I want you to be a part of it. If you're listening to me, I want you to be a part of it. After this live video, I'm going to share with you more details. I'm going to put it up on the group. But this group, we have to be pro-social issues. We have to care about nation building. We have to care beyond our children, if you're in Parenting Champions, I understand that you know that we are doing nation building here. We're doing parenting with nation building in mind. So periodically, I'll be able to share content about different campaigns that you should be a part of. You should sow a seed into. And I can assure you that for every girl that you invest resource to keep in school, you're going to reap it in diverse ways, in diverse ways. And it makes a big difference for us to make sure a girl stays in school. So I'm going to drop some information about this campaign. Okay, those watching me on Facebook can see my screen. Her Tuition, Her Voice campaign was launched on Sunday, October 11th, which is International Day of the Girl Child. And I'm a part of this campaign, and I want you to be able to hold hands with us, support us any way you can. When we put up the post, be kind enough to share it on your social media handles. Talk to your bosses about the campaign. She Forum Africa is doing something remarkable. We need to team up with them. So reach out to them and reach out to your bosses, your neighbors. people at church who you know can help, people at your mosque who you know can help, so that they can lend hand. And let me end by saying that the first set of girls are going to be coming to the North Condenary Day School. So we're looking at bringing in up to covering up to 25 girls who would be coming to the North Condenary Day School. So I'm really at the center of this. Is a privilege, a major privilege for this project to, to launch with the North Condenary Day School. So I want to see you take hands, support us, and make this happen any which way you can. So there are different ways to send in donations for this campaign. There's a Just Giving link. I will share it. I also share the bank detail to She Forum Africa. Remember, this project is in partnership with the She Forum Africa and the Embassy of Finland, and we look forward to having your support. All right, so that takes me to my next slide. I don't know whether my dogs are having enters right. All right, so let me just do something very quickly. I'm going to mute myself and ask someone to attend to them, please. Okay, so good evening. Tonight we're talking 5 things we need to position God as for our 10 over 10 girls. All right, remember, we're raising 10 over 10 girls. Wherever you're joining in from, if you can still hear me, please leave me a comment. Let me know you're still here, you're still here, you're still here. So we're talking raising 10 over 10 girls, and we said a 10 over 10 girl is a girl who becomes everything that God has called her to do. She becomes everything that God has called her to do. She becomes everything that God has called her to run for political office, to be a president, to be a governor, anything that God has wired her to be. And we're making a commitment as parents that we are not going to raise our girls with limitations in our mind. We're not going to set boundaries. Hey, big sister Inifon is in the house. Inifon, thank you so much for what you're doing through She Forum Africa. We're so excited. We're going to be a part of this all the way, all the way, all the way. We're going with you all the way. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. We're going to keep talking about her tuition, her voice. We're going to keep talking about it on radio, online, anywhere we go. We're going to keep talking about it. Thank you, sis, for being so thoughtful towards these indigent girls that need quality education. Thank you so much for all the amazing work that you do. God bless you big time. And every member of your team and everyone that has put their hands on the deck to make this happen, God bless them. God bless them. Thank you so much, sis, for joining us. All right, so we're talking 10 over 10 girls. We're raising 10 over 10 girls. And a 10 over 10 girl is a girl who becomes everything that God calls her to be. Some background is that I'm not doing 10 over 10 girl conversation as a hype. I'm doing it because I realized a long time ago that God had called girls to do remarkable things. And the girls that God has called to do these remarkable things are your daughters. But many times we limit them because of our own experiences. Many times we limit them because of our own experiences. Maybe in your time when you were getting married, your husband said you should be a housewife. So now you have a daughter and you're preparing her to be a housewife. And sometimes we come up with philosophies to back up what our reality is. Welcome, and big sister Ifeanyi, thank you for joining. Thank you, Yemi Da Diva. Thank you for coming in, all right? Thank you for joining tonight. So as mothers, it's very tempting for us to say, there's a way this life is, don't do this. So because we're trying to use our reality to judge what our children's reality is going to be. I mean, this week is a case in point, right? Have you seen what girls have done this week? I can tell you that God is pleased to see them know that, they're not supposed to be left. They're not supposed to be at the backyard. God has created girls for amazing things. And so while our reality as parents may be that our spouses didn't let us do one or two things, it behoves on us to raise our girls, to look out for people who will try to stop them so that they make their own relationship decisions differently from the way you made yours. Because while your own reality may limit you today, it doesn't mean that your reality needs to be your daughter's own. So a 10 over 10 girl knows God enough, knows that God is her creator, knows she's loved by God, knows she's beautiful, knows that God created her to solve problems. Because this life is boring. If all you come to do is marry, have children, and die, what do you think? It will be really, really boring. It won't be worth it. But there's so much more that God wants us to do. And even when we want to marry and have children, there's so much life that we can bring to it when we feel fulfilled in ourselves, all right? So a 10 over 10 girl is not just a hype. It's a whole culture. It's a lifestyle. It's a consciousness. It's about saying, I'm going to raise my daughters with no ceiling in mind. I'm going to raise my daughters with no limitation. I'm not going to let what stopped me stop my daughters. I'm going to raise them to see possibilities. All right. So that's a 10 over 10 girl any day, anytime. So tonight, because the anchor for the 10 over 10 girl is God. The anchor for the 10 over 10 girl is God. And a few weeks ago, I started talking about how a 10 over 10 girl's intrinsic identity has to be intrinsic. It has to be locked into who God says she is, because the world is crazy. The media is going to say this is what beautiful is. Tomorrow, the media is going to say this. The trends are going to say this. And so you find girls who seek external validation, going from pillar to post. They're doing this for validation, doing that for validation, and so it leaves them very unfulfilled. And so I shared that first week. I said, look, your daughter has to have her self-esteem anchored in on something that will not change. So your daughter's beauty is not her source of identity. Her long hair is not her source of identity. Her beautiful voice is not her source of identity. Her source of identity is that she's God-made, and God made her intentionally. And when her self-esteem is anchored in on God, she's unshakable. The world can do whatever I want. She's unshakable. And last week I started talking about helping your daughter see God as the source of their being, and how God is dependable enough. God is dependable enough. Raising girls who are connected to God, who can take on challenges, who know that they are never alone, is very strategic. It's not just strategic, it's the only way to raise a 10 over 10 girl. And today I want to just layer on it a bit. Today I just want to layer a little bit on it and talk about, when it comes to talking to our daughters about God as source, how do we position this source conversation? How do we position this source conversation so that we make the best of it, so that our children maximize who God is? Okay, so one of the things I had to struggle with growing up was trying to figure things out on my own, planning my life, doing a lot of things on my own. And in those days, in those moments, I really left out an important help that I needed. This is something I'm consciously, consistently working on. All right. So I had to start talking to myself to say, look, you have a resource, an enormous resource with you that you have to tap into. And I can tell you, when I started tapping into that resource, when I realized that the things that I needed to do for myself were not necessarily things that I had everything in view to do. There were things that I had a support system who was going to help me along the way. So one of the things I've decided to do is to really talk to girls about anchoring in on God, about knowing God for who He is, about locking in, about maximizing having a relationship with God and maximizing it. And it's easy for us to become religious about this, but it's not religious at all. It's not religious in any way, I tell you, all right? It's not religious at all. It's not religious. It's the only way a human being can have a decent experience on earth, by connecting back to your source. It's not a religious statement to say, go and teach your children about God. And for me, it's not about saying, oh, we pray every day, which is really fantastic. My children know all of these verses, which is fantastic. But I want my children to know God anchored in where on their worst day at life, in my absence, they can remember that they are still not alone. All right. So that's it for me. And I know that girls need this a lot. I know that girls need this a lot. So it's such a priority for me to have these conversations. I know girls need this a lot. Girls struggle with so many things. And one of the things that has helped me, give me insight on these issues, is the ability to reflect on my personal journey as a woman. What have I struggled with when I had low self-esteem issues? What did it look like? What did it sound like? What did I used to sound like? And when the shift started, what can I go back to that I anchored into, and it created that amazing shift for me. So, and I can tell you along the way, I don't know what other people's experiences has been. Every time I stepped up in my self-worth journey, in my self-esteem journey, there had to be an aspect of God, a dimension of God I had just experienced. Maybe I had just gotten new insight on something, and the thing fueled me, and I became a different person. So I don't want your daughters to wait until they are adults. I don't want your daughters to wait until they're adults and they start going for prayer meetings and praying for husbands. No, I want them to know that God is not in a box. I want them to have the wonder, the excitement to say, oh, I want to have a relationship with God and see what this really looks like. So when you tune in every Friday night, that's what you're getting. How do we give our children a flavor of God that is beautiful, that is not religious, that's empowering, that is here to propel them to be everything that God has called them to be? So I want to share 5 things with you that your girls need to know God as. No matter what you do, if your children don't know, and while I'm talking about raising girls, I share principles. So you can pick this principle, take it back home and teach it to your boys. But my focus is girls, but I teach principles so you can actually work with it, all right? So the first thing I want to talk about, number 1 today, the first thing that your daughters need to know at the back of their mind is that God is a purposeful creator. God is a purposeful creator. Let your girls know that they are made on purpose. And if you're a single mom listening to me today, I really need you to listen to this part. Your daughters need to know that God is a purposeful creator. For girls being raised by single parents who feel like one parent didn't stay, one parent was deadbeat, one parent was non-existent, it's easy for them to begin to think that something is wrong with them, all right? And then after a while, your children move into circles where there are other girls around, and one sings in a way they cannot sing. And they're in a drama team, they want to do the lead role, but there's a favorite that needs to do the lead role. And they can see that, okay, that favorite actually has the skill, but they wish they could be given a chance. These are simple things that start tampering with the identity of girls, I'm telling you. And it doesn't look good when it starts, all right? You start seeing girls bitching at each other. So your daughter should know that she is a product of thoughtful intentionality. I remember when God told me this thing a long time ago. He said, Irene, I made sure you were here. So the fact that your mom is dealing with you alone, you're not a mistake. You didn't drop here by sheer coincidence. You are here because I made you come. And while it starts like that in terms of existence, it goes further to say, you see the way your voice sounds? I put in that voice box together for a reason. And you see the way you play, the way you laugh. I have some friends who say that my brain doesn't switch off. And it's not, they don't say it in a good way. They use it to yab me because they feel like even when I'm sleeping, my brain is still going buzzing and everything. And there were times that when I heard that, I would feel bad. I said, why am I like that? But later on, I realized, no, I am a product of thoughtful intentionality. Welcome, Ayali. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Thank you, Akimbwade One. Thank you for joining. Thank you for Miyake Photography for joining on Instagram. And yes, I can see my sister Sharon Mewazi joining in all the way from Calabar. Thank you for joining tonight. Make sure you leave a comment about where you're joining in from, all right? So first thing about God your daughter should know is that God is a purposeful creator. And as a result, she is a product of thoughtful intentionality on purpose. You work the way you work on purpose. You like, many times the things that you like are for a reason. The things that irritate you are for things that you don't feel comfortable with. Sometimes your parents want to make you like it by all means. Yeah, there's a place for that, but sometimes our inner wiring is such that it tells of our purpose. The things that you're not, I mean that you're not comfortable with, could be saying something about your personality. So when you have the mindset that you want your daughter to know that God is intentional, you also have an assignment. I'm going to share a few of them in a moment. And the first assignment that comes to you is I must not compare my daughters, because you already know God made that one different. So you even highlight to them that they're different. So there's no basis for comparisons. So I don't even make comparisons for, let's say, girl A can do something better than girl B. I don't tell girl A about how she's better than girl B, because I think it's mediocrity. Hi, Fai says she's joining you from Lagos. Lagos, you guys are shaking Nigeria this season. I hope you're good, sis. Please stay safe, stay safe. And remember to use the hashtag answers if you're protesting, okay? So when I have that consciousness that God is a purposeful creator and that my children, each of them, are product of thoughtful intentionality, then I don't compare them. I actually make fun in my heart about their differences, but usually I tell myself they're going somewhere. They're going somewhere. They're going somewhere. So my second daughter has a lot of my energy, right? Both of them do have my energy, but my second daughter has my talking energy, right? And then she keeps going. In fact, sometimes my colleagues at work say, when I do some things, they say that's Elena, right? But as a child, it's not fun because she's been criticized here, criticized. When I was a child, they used to call me Radio Nigeria. So one day I went into this pharmacy to buy something. And because she's on the slim side, I mean, my secondary school mates know how slim I was in secondary school. So she's on the slim, lanky side. And so one of the pharmacists goes, if only you could stop talking so that the food could get into your system. And so I stood there and said, nope, she's going to use that talk somewhere. That talk is going somewhere to happen. God made her like that on purpose. Now, she's grown up in a home that they never tell her to shut up. And the thing is, she's not even talking like chatterbox. She can go and sit down on her own in the house and start singing, acting drama on her own. And just so you will just keep hearing her voice. So we've not asked her to stop doing those things. In fact, sometimes I watch her sing. She will just be lost and be going. She doesn't have a fantastic voice. Don't store this, okay? I feel so because I don't. So I don't know what it is with her, okay? So she can just keep going on and on. But here's the thing. We never ask her to stop. We never tell her, no, this is not good enough. This is not. No, there are no comparisons. And then also, as a parent, I have to model that God is intentional with me. So some of us, when we had our babies, after baby was born, we now had some tummy stuff. So now we live in front of the mirror. We complain about how things are better for one person and not us. Some of those conversations is wrong modeling, and we should do something about it. That brings me to my next point. Yeah, God has to be a mirror, all right? All right, so we had that glitch. Sorry about that. We're right back. We're right here. We're right here. We're right here. So I was talking about mothers who spend the whole day in front of the mirror. You know, when you now make the mirror, sorry about that glitch, just a short network break right there. So we find that some of us are so into our looks. Some of us are so into how we look. We feel confident when we look good on the mirror. Unfortunately, we begin to mirror this to our girls. Our girls become overly self-conscious. Is my hair not in place? Is my makeup okay? Do I look okay? Why are people looking at me like that? So for me, I want my children to see God as a mirror. That's the person that says the best about you. All right? So my girls already know that who God made you is constant. It doesn't matter if you have a bad hair day, you're beautiful because God says so. And I always like to put it to them that they were made in the image of God, and that means something. And what it means for me is I keep telling my girls that you want to learn more about yourself, look at the Bible. Bible says God is good. It means you can be a good person. It means you can be a kind person. It means you can, because we're made in the image of God, there's so much inside of you that you need to dig and come out. You have to constantly be excited about the adventure of what God is going to do with you. So what that means is physically, my girls know that God made them awesome, all right? And then when it comes to other things where there's a demand for them to do something that they don't think they can do for themselves, then another thing kicks in. There's a nature that they're conscious of that kicks in, that tells them that, oh, because God made me, then I can do whatever is in front of me to do. They don't feel intimidated because I was made in the image of God. But one of the things I like the most about this kind of perspective is that it allows them see other people as well, as it allows them see other people as people also made in the image of God. It allows them be thoughtful and respectful and sensitive to other people. So I've shared two things. I said, number one, your daughters need to, let me see, where did I go? Where did I go? I've said two things already. I've talked about number one, you have to position God as a purposeful creator. Let your girls be conscious of the fact that God is a purposeful creator and there's no mistake on them. You have to position God as a mirror that they can learn about themselves by looking at God, by reading the word of God. They can see who they are. And that is a much more dependable way to find out who they are. That's a more dependable way to get the identity questions answered. All right. And then I got to the third one, which is that you need to position God as a dependable person. So for my girls, I like to think of it as 911. Like God will always be there. Sometimes you're at school or you're feeling something, or maybe mommy scolded you for something you did wrong and you didn't get to express yourself like you wanted and you feel not listened to. There's someone who will listen to you, and that's God. And that's something we need to teach our girls, that God is ever present, ever available, ever dependable. And I wanted to say where your parents stop, God continues, but that's not the truth, because your parents can be present but not present, but God will always be present. So we need to position God to our girls that God is dependable. God can keep a secret. You can talk to God about the areas where you feel insecure. You can ask Him for help. You can tell Him a secret, even though He already knew before you told Him. All right. So we position God as dependable. All right. So at this point, I want to ask, if you're listening to me right now and you are having a lot of issues around helping your girl have a rock solid self-esteem, you are struggling as a parent yourself, you find yourself saying things that you're not supposed to say to your girls and to yourself, and you're beginning to see the cycle play out with the way your daughter speaks to other people or about herself, and you need help. You want someone to be able to reach out to you to know what to do, for you to start a whole new journey with your girls. It's very simple. You want to send me an email, ask Irene at raisinggirls.com.ng, or send me a quick WhatsApp on 090-3333-8510. All right. Make sure you reach out to me because I'm here to support you. I'm here to be a part of your Raising Girls journey. I'm here to put in word, hold you accountable, inspire you, pray with you, and just whatever it is, make sure that at the end of the day, when this life is over on this side of eternity, we can look to God and say, we did the best with what you gave to us. These girls you gave to us, we made sure they became everything that you designed for them to become. So yeah, I just wanted to punctuate there to say, you need any help, reach out to me, send me a quick email and do me a WhatsApp message, and I'll be really happy to hear from you. So that brings me to the fourth point, which is God as final authority. I started talking about this last week. Many girls feel like they're running life on their own. They feel alone. And even I hear mothers say it. They feel that they're carrying on so much pressure. Everything is just, they feel all weighed down. They feel like, oh, I have to deal with all of this by myself. But one of the things I find that God consistently reminds me is, come to me now, come and talk to me about your issues. And even when people say, like when people want to, do these cultural things around us, we get to work, we don't get a promotion when we're supposed to get a promotion, we deserve something, we don't get to have it, and people really say stuff to us that really gets to us. God wants us to become unshakable. He wants us to be able to hear what people say and know that, well, they're not the final authority. But here's the part where it relates to your daughter. It's important for you to help your daughters know that God is the one that has the final say. It works this way. Even when you feel that you've been unfairly treated, it's God that determines the outcome. Someone can plan for something to be really evil to you, and God can turn it around. Your boss can say he's going to fire you, and you can go to the boss of your boss and talk about it. This will help our girls not run around feeling empty and helpless and that kind of thing. Help them see that God is final authority. They have a problem in the university, for instance. If God is final authority, then she has no business accepting to compromise with the lecturer. At the same time, she also has no business accepting a grade point that is below her performance. I mean, she can be brave, she can be courageous to look whoever is trying to trample her in the face to say, no, it's not going to happen on my watch. The 10/10 girl is courageous. She knows how to call people's bluff and say, it won't happen, can't happen, I'm not doing this today, you won't have your fields day today, because she knows that she has a backup support who is the final authority. So people will not manipulate her, people will not take advantage of her, because she has a rock solid understanding that God is final authority. And one of the ways I tell my daughters, I put this into practice is, like, maybe my daughters are asking me for something and I say, oh, I don't have it, or I'm not giving it this time. I always tell them, go back, go and tell God he can make me do anything. God can make me do anything. And if I don't want to do it, God can bring it for you another way. So that way I help them embrace the idea that God is final authority, even in my relationship with my parents, even with my grades, when I have a need, when I have a health issue, God has final authority. So if you're still here, let me see you in the comment section. Tell me something you've heard today that has been of great value to you. Tell me something you've heard today that has been of great value to you. Let me hear your voices in the comment section. I can see 6 eyeballs out there, 4 hearts. Thank you to everyone listening. My Instagram connection kind of got broken along the line, all right? So I hope to be able to share the clips of today's live session with the people on Instagram. I don't know what happened right there, all right? So share with me, what have you heard so far? I'd like to see the comments. What have you heard so far that is of value to you? And let me know if this is something you're taking away. Are you going to put to test, put this to practice, and so on and so forth? I'd like to see your comments in the comment section. Meanwhile, let me go all the way back up. So there's several people commenting here, but unfortunately, if you've never used StreamYard before, I won't be able to see your name. And Timothy was joining in from YouTube. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. All right. So I saw someone else here. I can hear you, ma'am. Someone here said, true, ma'am. God is everything. God is dependable enough. The only way to raise a 10/10 girl is to make them realize that God is the source. And Sharon added that, yeah, what I'm saying is not a religious statement. Yes, it's not. Someone else added that God is a purposeful creator. Yes. Thank you so much for all the comments that you're sending in. I'm very grateful. This is our 3rd episode of Raising Girls Weekly, hosts every Friday, 7 p.m. And next week, Friday, is our Q&A live session where I'm going to be answering questions on girl issues, all right? So send me any question that you have, whether it's related to conversations I've had here already or not. Just feel free, send me the questions, and I'll be happy to help. So what's the number 5 pillar I'm sharing today? Your girls need to know that God lives inside of them. Now, I'm a Christian, and I believe in Jesus Christ. And if you believe in Jesus Christ, it means you believe in the Holy Spirit, right? And so the Holy Spirit takes up residence in us after we become born again. And I think that is the biggest miracle that can happen to someone that started walking with God. Having the Holy Spirit come take residence with you. Yes, your daughter is a product of purposeful intentionality. Yes, the 10 over 10 girl is a product of purposeful, thoughtful intentionality. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Comfort, for joining tonight. Thank you, Chika Anozi, for joining from YouTube. Thank you for being a part of tonight's class, session, whatever, show, whatever it is. All right. So I was talking about the last point. The last way you need to position God as for your girls is to remind them that the Holy Spirit lives inside of them. That means he took up residence inside of them. Let me break it down, how it means to me and how I've been able to pass it on to my girls. It means to me that the very force that created the universe manages to wrap itself inside of me. It means I'm unstoppable. It means I have support. It means I can create. It means there's someone present. It means there's help that never leaves me. But it also means that there's someone inside I need to honor. And I like the Bible verse that says that our body is the temple of God. All right? When you start giving your girls a consciousness that Christ is inside of you, so your body is a temple and you should honor it. I mean, it's very far-reaching. It means a lot. It's very empowering. It can help refine the choices that they make, the perception, what they think of themselves. I mean, how can someone who has God on the inside look down on herself? How can someone who has God on the inside look down on herself? And this is some amazing things that when you position God as, you have lasting impact, lasting impact. Your children your girls grow up, your children, both boys and girls grow up to be rock solid human beings, unshakable human beings, because in putting them through these 5 pillars of seeing God as the source of their identity, as the mirror, as a dependable person, a dependable part of their life, as being a fruit of God's intentionality, and then helping them see that this God we're talking about is actually inside of you. In the process, you prepare her for the storm. I'm talking about raising girls, and we're talking about little girls right now. We're talking about mostly little girls, whether they are primary school age, preteens, teens, they're still little girls. Life has not kicked in. But if at the point where they are little girls, they master how they lean into God, when life storm comes, they will be well acquainted. There have been young men and women that when the storm hits, they turn to drugs. They turn to something else. They turn to sex. All right? Very unhealthy, perverse appetite for sex because the storm came. But when we start raising our girls from young and we start helping them see that when the storm comes, you tune into a father that is always present, who made you for his purpose, who will never leave you, who will never forsake you, they become accustomed to running to him. They become accustomed to his voice. They become accustomed to having a relationship with him. So regardless of what storm comes, you are certain that your girl is still standing. I always say that we don't parent for the days we will be standing by our children. We parent for the days that we will not be there. We parent for the decisions our girls will have to make on their own. We parent for the kind of men our girls will bring home. And mom, you don't have the algorithm to know what what man will be good for your daughter. Your daughter has to make that decision. But guess what? If you give her a relationship with God, she will have a dependable person to make that decision with. Not only will she make the right decision or be intelligent or smart enough to know what decision to make, she'll be working with someone who sees the future, someone who knows her future, someone whose voice she recognizes, someone she's connected to, and that person is who knows it more than you do. So you will parent your children as much as you can, but the truth is you have to prepare them for the main parent on life's journey. So in positioning your daughter's relationship with God, what happens is you ready them to hear God for themselves. You ready them to hear God for themselves, for their journey, and through the course of childhood, they become acquainted with this way of life. All right. And so I'm wrapping. That's my last point for tonight. So I'm going to ask if you have any question right about now. Drop it like it's hot. All right. Drop it. Having in mind too that next week Friday, excuse me, I'm not going to be teaching anything. I'm just going to come out live and just read out questions. So I'm happy to start capturing questions today. Ask me any question you have. Ask me any question you have for now, but also, yep. I'm looking at, so you can drop your question in the thread. You can send me a question against next week Friday when we're doing the Raising Girls Q&A. It will be awesome. We'll just be answering questions on different things, from sex education to Bible for girls, to schoolwork, to behavior. Anything you have, I'm going to be right here, by God's special grace, trying to answer to the best of my ability. All right. So I'm going to run around some announcements very quickly. So next week is Q&A night. It's going to be fun. All right. And then the upper week, we're going to be having Girls Story Night, okay? So the Raising Girls Weekly, the first 2-3 Fridays I get to share, I get to teach, I get to take us through like some webinars and stuff like that. But after that, we do other things. The last 2 Fridays are usually Q&A Friday, and then we have Girls Story Night. We have 2 exciting people that are going to be sharing with us in 2 Fridays time, October 30th. So I'm going to just ask for a quick favor. Make sure you're sharing this live thread, telling your friends at work, your relatives, that there's this place you come to listen to Raising Girls Vibes on Friday night. And that's it, all right? Let me also leave this here right now. And again, if you have any question at all, any problem, you're dealing with any issue, do you think your girl is experimenting with sex already? And you're like, where do I help her retrace from? Are you having an estranged relationship with your daughter? You guys don't talk much, your relationship is, and you want to know what to do to bring it back and kindle it and everything. I'm right here. If you think that you're a mom who struggled a lot with low self-esteem and you would like to stop that from being the reality of your daughters, that's the number to call. 090-3333-8510 on the screen. 090-3333-8510. And you can also send me an email at askirene@raisinggirls.com.ng. So we had a bit of a hiccup today when we're starting. My camera on my first system wouldn't go live. So I had to switch systems, and we lost about 10 minutes. So even though we've not been teaching for an hour, it looks like we've been teaching for an hour. All right. So let me take off my screen right about now, and I'm just going to read through the comment section before we log out for tonight. Thanking everyone who made the time to be here tonight. Thanking every single person who made the time to be here tonight. It's an honor to be able to be out here to share, to just have a conversation about these things as we partner together to raise a generation of 10 over 10 girls who live out to the fullness of everything God has designed for them to be. All right, so this is 5 minutes past 8 p.m. I'm going to be logging out in a moment. All right. So let me see if we have any quick question. Any quick question there, please? If you have a question, it's okay to just drop it in the comment. I'm grateful that you stopped by tonight I'm grateful that you stopped by tonight. I'm really grateful that you kept this appointment tonight I appreciate you greatly. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. We don't take you for granted at all. So thank you, Comfort Salas Okofu, for joining. Thank you, Chikano Zie. Thank you, all the Facebook users whose names I cannot see. Thank you, Sharon Mewazi. Thank you, Auntie Mute. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you, every single one that watched. You may not have left a comment. I appreciate you all the same because you're using your data to listen to me. And so I really appreciate. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Let me show that screen once again. Yep, let me show the screen once again. So if you need any help, you want someone to talk to you about anything, oh, that's the number to call. Do you have a group of friends that are dealing with stuff about raising girls and stuff, and you'd like for me to talk to them in a small pod, whatever it is, I'm happy to help. All you need to do is just send me an email or send me WhatsApp or even DM me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. DM me anyway, anyhow, and I'll be able to, lean in and do stuff with you, all right? So as I'm wrapping up tonight, oh, thank you so much, sis. Someone said she got value. It's a privilege to be able to hear that from you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm grateful that you got value. I look forward to hearing the amazing things happening in your homes. I look forward to you coming to say, my baby girl looks up now when she talks. She doesn't bend down her head. I like what I heard my daughter say today at the playground. My children, my girls are saying really confident things about themselves. That's my joy. That's the reason why I'm going to keep showing up. So I'm going to be drawing the curtains right here. I don't have a singing voice and it's okay. Yep, very okay, all right? I'm a product of thoughtful intentionality. If God thought I needed it, he'll give it to me, all right? So I'm going to be drawing the curtain here. I want to leave us with something really exciting. I want us to think about. The world has changed. We are not supposed to be participants. We're not supposed to be spectators at life. We're supposed to be players. We're supposed to contribute. We're supposed to ask why certain things are not working in our space, but not just ask and just criticize, but we have to put our hands on deck and be part of the solution. And also pass on the culture of being a part of the solution to the next generation. So I'm so happy you joined. Whatever you do, if you believe that Nigeria needs transformation, if you believe that enough is enough, that it's time for accountability and responsibility on the part of government and citizenry, that's what you should use the social media handle for. Talk about the things that need to change. It's amazing the difference it will make. All right? You may not want to protest and use the NSAS hashtag, is okay, but start talking about the things that need to change. Because in even writing on social media, you awaken consciences, all right, to make the necessary adjustments. So I do that every Friday, contributing to nation building by saying, let's raise holistic girls. Let's raise holistic girls who live out the full purpose of God. That's my contribution here too. And I know you have a contribution that you can make in the space that you are, wherever you are. So step out there, make a big difference. I'm going to leave us with that song again. This Nigeria got to work. We've got to make Nigeria work. So I'll see you again next week. But until then, enjoy this video and make sure you're part of the solution. See ya.
Nigeria hasn't always justified the faith of its people, but there comes a time when you are pushed to the wall and there's nowhere to go but up.
If we just decide in our hearts that we want to believe in Nigeria and we want to take steps every day to make this country a better place.
This is our dream, and a new Nigeria is that dream that we so much seek and desire.
The destiny of Nigeria is in our hands. We are the country. The country is us.
We are Nigeria.
We are that turning point generation. We are Nigeria. We are the future.
We are the future. We are the dream. We are the nation. We are part of this. Yes, we are so amazing. That's the least we shall be. At the heart of the nation, changing history. How can they say that we are finished? We have just begun. When we have nowhere else to run to, we have nowhere else to go. So get out of the way of the land of our dreams. We are the nation, we are part of this. Oh, oh. We are the nation, we are part of this. Whoa. Carry the song, carry the sound. The future is here. The future is here. Goodbye yesterday, tomorrow is now for the taking. The future is here. The future is here. I am the future. I am the future. I am the dream. Whoa. I am the nation. I am part of this. Yeah. Yes, I am so amazing. That's the least I shall be. The least I shall be. At the heart of the nation, changing history. How can they say that we are failures? We have just begun. When we have nowhere else to run, nowhere else to run, nowhere else to go, nowhere else to go. Hey, out of the land of my dreams. Oh, I am the nation. I am part of this. Yeah. So get out of the way of the land of my dreams. I am the nation. I am part of this. Whoa. Carry the song, carry the sound. The future is here. The future is here. Goodbye yesterday, tomorrow is now for the taking. The future is here. The future is here. Raise your hands in the air if you believe the future has come now. The future is here. The future is here. This is our country. The future is here. The future has come.
The future is not a time zone that is yet to come. The future is everything that we can be but have not yet become. The future is everything that we can do but have not yet done. The future is here. The future is now. So go ahead and deliver the future because you can, because you must.